Hello everybody, I just wanted to answer and address a question I was asked by one of my Facebook followers the other day, and it's off the back of this Jay Slater gone missing in Tenerife case, and seeing all these psychics jump onto YouTube to do a reading on it, or on TikTok and do a reading on it and saying, oh, this is what happened to Jay, I know what happened to him, when actually no you don't. And the question was, what are my thoughts and opinions, being a medium psychic myself, what are my opinions on people getting involved in cases like this? So not just this specific case, but getting involved in murder cases or missing persons cases or whatever. So I've got a couple of opinions on it, right? So bear with me. So the first thing is, if it's done through the right channels, then it can be of value and can be a benefit. And what I mean by that is, if the police, a police department or a family asks a psychic to get involved, then that does add value, because it tells me that the police can't come to resolution on a particular case. They can't bring it to a close, and they need an extra bit of help to try and do that. Because in those cases, a psychic is usually the last resort, because they really want to solve the case, right? And when a psychic or medium is brought in to work on a case like that, they are just used as an extra tool, right? That's important to say, because there are many skeptics out there, cynics, who will say a psychic's never solved anything. Well, no, they're not meant to. A psychic is not there to solve a case. It's the police's job to solve a case. What the psychic or the medium can do is to help the police by pointing them in a new direction, point them to new evidence, point them to a place where they think that person's gone missing, and all those things, right? So we're just used as a tool, and that should be the case, right? We know, and it's right to say, that the police need evidence. Many times they need physical evidence, whether it be DNA or speaking to witnesses or whatever else it might be. That is the correct thing to do. So a psychic, again, is just there to give them the extra little bit of help, if you like. And further to that, it's not a new thing for psychics or mediums to get involved in cases like this. Psychics and mediums have helped on many well-known cases out there, but it just goes under the radar and it's not talked about, which I think is a good thing, because it protects the privacy of that psychic that's been used. But also, if you think about it, if the police came out and said, we have solved the case with the help of this psychic, they'd be laughed at. They'd be a laughing stock, because people will say, oh, haha, you've brought in a mad psychic to help you, you couldn't solve it yourself. So, because the attitudes towards psychics and mediums these days, so people wouldn't take that favourably. They would just laugh at the police, and then they could lose credibility or whatever else, right? So it's just not talked about. But psychics do help on police cases a lot of the time when it's needed. But also, the other thing I'll say as well, that if the police are going to invite a psychic in to help them, they need to find the right one. Because within the psychic world, the psychic skill even, there are many different skills within it. So for example, some psychics are really good at psychic detective work because they've built that skill. Some are not so great. There'll be some psychics who are really good at predicting events. There are some that are not so great at that. I personally don't do predictions myself, because we all have different skills within the psychic or mediumship field. So you need to make sure that to add value to your case, that you're going to find the right person to help you out and do that. So that's my first thought, is that psychics, mediums can be of benefit, they can be of value to these cases if the right person is chosen to help the police out on it. Now, what I don't find value in are these so-called psychics, who are actually a psychic as a spoon, who jump onto a TikTok video or to a YouTube video and do a reading on the case and tell you, this is what my cards say, this is what I think about the case, this is the truth of what happened to Jay, when actually it's not the truth at all, it's just an opinion. That doesn't add value, because what are you doing with that? It's no different to a troll going online and giving what their thoughts and opinions on it. Because if you're a psychic trying to be helpful, you will take your information to the police or to the family. But instead, what these psychics are doing is taking the case and turning it into entertainment for likes and clicks for their own social media to build their numbers. That's what's happening. So there is no value. There's no value in that. And in fact, I won't even watch those videos on you. I've seen they're there, but I won't watch those types of videos, whether it be on YouTube or TikTok, because a lot of it is just rubbish and it is just an opinion. And at the end of the day, anyone can read a tarot card, but reading tarot or reading oracle cards does not mean you're psychic. We can all read a card. So again, for me, my opinion, it adds no value to the case at all. In fact, it can actually do more damage than anything. Because what if a family member watches a certain video and then gets concerned by it, or is there something in there which throws the whole thing off? So it's about taking personal responsibility for what you're saying as well. And I wonder if these psychics that do this, and even the trolls in fact, I wonder if they actually have any compassion and are able to put themselves in the shoes of that family. Because if they were able to do that, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. So yeah, so in that case, I don't think they're any help to a case at all. They're more of a hindrance than anything else. And I personally won't do things like that either, because what I feel, I don't think will add any value. And I've done my own little mini psychic investigation into Jay, but I'm not that invested in it to be honest. But I won't share that because I don't want to cause any harm or any distress to anybody, especially the family. It's about respect. So whatever I feel, I keep to myself. I record it, I time and date stamp it for my own, I guess, my own learnings or whatever else, right? But I don't share it because I don't need the attention, and I'm not an attention whore. So it comes back to personal responsibility and respecting the family, whatever you think of them or him or whatever else. It doesn't matter, someone's still gone missing. So it's about respect and letting the police do what they're meant to do. But that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for the person who asked me that question as well. You know who you are. You follow me on my social media, so thank you. But I thought I would address it because many people ask me the same thing. What do I feel about, psychics, mediums getting involved in cases like this? And I hope I've answered the question. Thank you very much again. And